What's up, Bobcats? Physics department, we're doing a little bit of cleanup, getting ready for you to come back to school. But when you get here, you're going to be doing some labs, so we need to cover some lab safety. My name is Mr. Erickson, and I'm teaching some of the freshman physics classes. Let me introduce you to the rest of the team.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I'm Mrs. Garrett. I'm the physics teacher here at Cienega High School. Welcome back. We're doing lab work when you come back. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be singing at you in the doorway because that's what I love to do. Let me introduce you to another physics teacher.
Does it work well? Hey, how are you guys? This is Mr. Benji Gukong. You can call me Mr. G, and hope to see you soon, you know?
What up, Bobcats? It's Mr. Beaver here, aka Mr. B. We're here to talk about lab safety.
Today we're gonna talk about the lab dress code.
Today we're watching Mr. Erickson and Mrs. Garrett perform a chemistry lab. One thing I'm really liking about Mr. Erickson today is he's wearing closed-toed shoes and has on those long pants to protect his skin from any exposure.
Yeah, and one thing as well, he's wearing goggles to protect his eyes.
And that's a great point. Goggles have that side protection where Miss Garrett's wearing her glasses, but they may not be as effective. And what's also really important is when you have long hair, you ponytail that back. Luckily, Mr. Erickson doesn't have any hair, so he doesn't have to worry about it.
True. Now, oh my golly, they have dangling jewelry. It is not allowed during the lab. But luckily, Mr. Erickson doesn't have the necktie.
And that's what happens when we don't follow lab safety.
Class, we're getting ready for our labs. Let's talk about a little bit of the reminders of your safety. Now, follow all directions closely. That's how accidents happen. Don't skip any steps. Never perform any experiments not authorized by your instructor. Me. If you don't understand questions or directions, ask before you move on. Maintain a clean work area. We don't want people getting stuff in their stuff. Clearly label all containers before adding a substance. No horseplay, including practical jokes, water fights, wrestling, jumping off chairs, sitting, standing on, jumping off tables, etc. Only use follow directions. Maintain a clean work. Meter stick should never be raised above waist level. No food, gum, drinks, candy allowed in class. And notify your teacher immediately if spills, breakages, accidents, or injuries occur. If you've spilled acid on your skin, immediately wash it off and have another student notify your instructor immediately. Gentlemen!
Hey there, we're not going to talk about heat and fire safety. Now, we're not going to do a lot with fire and heat in physics, but when we do, here are some important things to remember.
First, when it comes to open flames, never heat a container with a sealed lid. Also, never reach over a container that is being heated. Also, never point a container at yourself or someone around you. And of course, never leave your lab equipment unattended, or this could happen. Hey Bobcats, let's talk about chemical safety. A couple rules we must follow to be safe in the lab. First, we don't drink chemicals. We don't directly smell chemicals. What do? We waft with it. We also only use what's directed by the experiment. When we're done, we don't just dump unused chemicals into the sink, we put them in the proper receptacles for disposal. Also, if we have leftover chemicals, again, we don't put them back in the original container. We put them in the proper disposal receptacles. And to demonstrate why we don't do these things, hit it, Scoob and Shaggy!
Lemonade. Check it out! those weird letters, Scoob? Frankie? Scooby-Doo, you turned into a freaky monster. You don't eat stuff that grows. Now there's gotta be an antidote in here somewhere. Here, try this, Scoob. It looks medicinal. Tastes like strawberries. I'm okay, Scoob. I'm good at Chick's body. Rhyme and rice made in red.
Let's get ready to rumble!
I'm buff.
I hope they're gonna be okay.
So I don't know if you've noticed, but we live on this big blue marble, and it's covered in water. Water is very important to us, and some days we might need to use water in the lab. So it's important, a couple things you should know about, okay? One, water, this beautiful substance, don't drink it out of the beaker. But it makes things slippery. So when you spill and there's like a little bit of water, all of a sudden this gets slippery, right? And you can like mess up your papers, you can slide stuff around and it'll fall off the table, it'll break or whatever. If you get it on the floor, it's treacherous, right? So just be careful. If you spill water on the floor anytime, let your teacher know immediately so that we can get it cleaned up before one of your classmates eats it. And that would be terrible because we would all like watch and laugh and maybe it'd get on TikTok or I don't know. But eventually we have to call the paramedics to come have you hauled out and then we'll all be really concerned about your safety. Other things is, you know, if we're heating water, we might have a hot plate. And so a hot plate has electricity running through it. You know, electricity, water, they're not friends. I mean, they try to be friends, but they're not. So the trick is you don't want to let these things mix. So if something happens and you accidentally spill on your hot plate, Mr. Beaver, I broke your room. Terribly sorry, brother. Let's go find the power box. All right, let's talk about glassware. A couple things to note. First off, your parents pay taxes, and some of those taxes, just a couple of them, they come trickling into the school so that we can buy you good lab equipment. If you get a beaker, like one of these, or if you get a graduated cylinder or a flask or something to use, and it's broken, if it's chipped, if there's a crack or anything, don't use it. Tell your instructor immediately, because those things, they'll break easier, right? And having broken glass around is not a good thing to do, okay? Also, if you're heating glass, don't use the plastic one. It'll melt, first. Second, you wanna make sure that you heat your glass when there's something in it. If it's just wet, then the water molecules vibrate and doing all this, and it will crack, okay? Now, to demonstrate, I just wanna show you with my mind. I'm gonna heat this with my mind. Dude, this comes to our last point. Never handle broken glass. If this were to happen to you, you just stop what you're doing and you send someone to go get your teacher. We will clean up all broken glass. We don't want you handling it. These edges are sharp. We are specially trained with leathery fingers to protect ourselves. And also, if there is broken glass, you don't just throw it in a trash can like this guy, because what happens when the custodian comes over, picks up the trash can and cuts themselves? Well, the custodian's gonna be out of work for a while and then you have to clean the school all by yourself.
And now for the sharp instrument safety. Always remember, handle sharp instruments carefully.
Good job.
Whoa, watch out there. Woo. Never cut towards. It should be, you have to cut away, all right? Not towards you. Next, you have to return all sharp instruments to their proper location. Not again. And lastly, never run with sharp instruments. That's why I never run with sharp instruments.
we'd like to take an opportunity to talk to you about handling live organisms.
First, treat all live organisms with care and respect.
Second, because Mr. Beaver and I are both parents of cute girls, you can only handle the live organisms when you are given permission to, and you're not given permission to. Also, you have to treat them with respect, like Mr. Beaver said.
And of course, at lunch, you don't know where your classmates have been, playing football, getting sweaty, so it's always important to thoroughly clean and wash your hands.
Please don't handle the organisms. Thank you.
And finally, here we are for the end of the investigation rules. And you have to return all the equipments properly in its place. So usually we use the cabinet to put our stuff back. So here we go. And also you have to wash your hands properly.
And here Miss Garrett will demonstrate for us the happy birthday song method of washing your hands, meaning you sing the song twice. And that means your hands are clean. In time lapse.
And of course, whenever you make a mess, clean it up.
Hey Bobcats, thanks for watching our physics team lab safety video. We hope you have an awesome and safe year. Go Bobcats!
Hey now, you're an all-star, get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star, get the show on, get